Welcome back everybody to the channel. As you guys know by the title, I am going to be reviewing the On Autopilot, which is really cool. So we're going to get right into it. I'm not going to waste too much time. I am just about to go on to the highway, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. So this update, I just received it very recently. As you guys can tell, as soon as I activated it, it goes into that nice little center line mode, which is really interesting. And the whole point of this is going to be to give you guys a really good idea if it works. Right now I am just gonna, oh, it tells me to change lanes. Okay, wow, that was easy. All right, okay. One of the most interesting aspects of this that I was very curious about is definitely the off-ramp. And the off-ramp is something that, you know, if it's able to take the off-ramp on its own, I gotta tell you, I am gonna be absolutely blown away. As many of you who do watch this channel, and by the way, if you are new to the channel, welcome. Please comment hello if you're gonna subscribe. This way I can know who you are and say hello back. And yeah, leave me a comment anytime, give me ideas. So today, definitely the big thing for me is gonna be going through the process of figuring out how autopilot works. Well, not autopilot, it's navigate on autopilot. And so far, no complaints. The interesting part about what Tesla does, and they're very good at doing, is coming up with all these little extra little things. So one of the big changes, I think one of the big more interesting stuff that I have to get used to is the fact that the stock, if you want to do a lane change as it is right now, I actually have to put the stock all the way up, so at the point where it clicks. Now this applies only to the Model X and the Model S. To the Model 3 it does not apply to my knowledge. I believe you guys just push it up a little bit and it will work. So if I want to change lanes right now, I give it a signal. See, no hands. So it changes over, but it will not turn off. You have to manually turn it off. So that's not any different than autopilot, the regular autopilot. What is different is on this version, if the car asks me to change lanes, on the Model S and the Model X, the stock has two options. One, click all the way down or all the way up, or just give it a 3 second, the 3 second quick signal, the lane change signal, if you will. What's really interesting about that is when I'm going basically, and let's say it asks me to change lanes, I don't have to do anything. All I really have to do is give it a little bit of a touch on the stock, and it's going to change lanes and turn off the signal, which is really good. So the quick signal basically becomes a confirmation, because currently you do have to confirm the lane changes. Apparently, I had a chance to test it yesterday, and yesterday was pouring rain. It was just a disaster to try and actually get a real test through it. I wasted quite a bit of time trying. Actually, I filled up all of my cards with video footage, but frankly, nothing really good, nothing really usable. It was really bad. The weather was pouring, and the car still did the job that it does on autopilot, but what did show up is a little weather warning saying that, due to the weather conditions, and I'll put that up here somewhere, due to the weather conditions, autopilot may be limited, I believe is what he said. And so today I said, you know what, I reviewed the video, I went through the whole editing, and I said, I can't do it. I have to redo this video again. So this is actually my second version. With all that said, I have not really had a real solid chance to figure out what works and what doesn't. As you guys can tell, right now the highway is pretty empty. It's reasonably early in the morning, and it happens to be a Sunday, so it kind of works out for test purposes. With that said, you saw right off the bat that it asked me to change lanes to go around the car because it was slower than I am, which is really weird. Right now I'm doing 10 kilometers an hour over, and actually I have cars passing me. It kind of tells you how well people follow the speed limits, I guess. So I'm gonna cut out a big chunk of this, and I'll only put in from here on relevant information to what's happening and what's going on, so that you guys really get a good chance to see the details. It's literally been doing what autopilot normally does, so I'm just enjoying a cup of coffee. One of the beauties of autopilot is it takes so much out of, oh, wait a second. It wants me to be on the outer lane. So we're gonna change lanes. There we are. So that line is like a suggested lane. That's what it wants me to be in. And that's actually very interesting. So I don't get a notification. Oh, it wants me to go back now. Well, that's weird. But I just got out of that lane. I am not sure why he did that. And now he wants me to go back to... What? Okay, I'm not going to change lanes again because I'm going to look... Oh, I see why he's doing it. There we go. Okay. So I don't know exactly why it asked me to go out of that lane and then back in just to come out again. And now it's telling me there's another lane change coming up and it wants me to be on the... This is really, really weird. Upcoming lane. Oh, it's upcoming lane change. Okay. See? This is why you learn. So the lane change here, the way it works, there's a... Further up, there's another section for it to where we have to change over, as far as I know. Maybe. I don't know. I'm in this with you guys. So this is interesting. Now it should ask me to get onto the right lane. And I'm gonna be curious. So far I've been using the stock a lot. So now I'm just gonna use it just a little bit up when it asks me to change lanes. There it is. So I just told it to change lanes. See? And it's gonna turn off the signal by itself, I hope. Yes, it did. Beautifully done. All right, so we should stay on this road all the way to the exit, which is honestly not that far away. And these S-curves coming up right now is a really good example. Oh, it wants me to change again. Whoops. Okay. I'm not sure. So it is changing over. Okay. I use the whole stock. I have to get used to the idea not to push it up all the way. So this is actually really interesting, and it's absolutely right, except for the fact that this is gonna merge, as far as I remember. But the car doesn't care. The car adjusts. So I love autopilot. Now should be coming up the exit. I'm curious what it's gonna do. Okay, what's happening? Oh, I didn't signal. You guys see my hands? It took it off. What the? Awesome! Oh, this is way cool. Oh, good Tesla. Good job, guys. So I am not touching it. I do have I am ready to take over really quickly, but I just want to show you guys my hands that I am actually physically doing nothing. The car is doing everything. I don't recommend this, by the way. So please, I just have to touch the steering wheel. I know some of you guys love commenting. Keep your hands on the steering wheel. This is for your purposes, so please don't do as I do in this case. Keep your hands always on the wheel. And I'm just basically looking at what's oh, okay. So it went on to regular autopilot. Now I did do a little research. Apparently it should stop on its own. Okay, what's going on? Oh, this area is restricted to 70 kilometers. Okay. So it's a green light, so more than likely she's just going to maintain going. And the autopilot navigation is complete and it's slowing down. Okay, we can't have that. So let's take it off. Awesome. That was actually really interesting. We're going to repeat this whole thing on another area. Right, so the exit I'm coming up onto this time is going to be a little bit different. It's mainly going to have a really sharp turn right after as soon as we exit. But what I did notice though in the meantime that I was driving around is it's asking me to switch lanes quite a bit. Now this is really interesting because again it asks me here to switch lanes. It slows down, gets in behind this car, and I'm not really 100% sure why it does this. Really the lane I was on was perfectly fine. Now it's asking me to switch over more, but it's kind of pointless. I do find this to be really strange. I'm trying to understand why this is happening, why it's asking me to change lanes as much as it's doing, because really at the end of the day it makes absolutely no sense. Even now it's asking me to change it, but changing lanes for the sake of changing lanes doesn't make any sense to me. So now it wants me to change lanes again. I'll switch over to that lane Now, realistically speaking, this is where I should be on this lane, but there is a slower truck that we're going to be coming up to, and I can guarantee you it's going to ask me to switch lanes again. Now, I figured it may have something to do with the speed that I set. So if it does have something to do with the speed that I set, then it would make sense. But I tested it out a few different things and it doesn't do that. Then now it should technically ask me because, well, everybody's passing me. However, in about 4 kilometers, we're coming up to to our exit. So because we're coming up to our exit, I don't know if that's why this is asking me to stay here. There's a merge lane coming up on our right, as you guys can see in the camera, and so I was thinking it might have something to do with that, but once again, it's not asking me to switch over. It's simply just, well, dealing with the situation. I'm actually very curious how it's going to deal with this situation. It might slow down quite a bit. No, it didn't slow down that much. Wow, okay, so that's actually, it's really nice to see that it allows everybody, but again, into the faster lane, but it knows full well that there's a, I'm only 3 kilometers away from my exit. I don't like the fact that it's asking me to consistently change lanes back and forth. I am a solid believer that, you stay on the lane. If you know you're going to be getting off, going in advance into that lane, it's consistently asking me to switch. So we're going to switch over. Let's see. Whoop, there we go. Okay. Well, he did it. But that was a little bit close considering the car that was behind me. But now it's probably going to ask me to switch back because the exit is going to be coming up pretty soon. So it's really weird. I don't like the fact that it's asking me to change lanes as much as it does. I'd rather stick to one lane. I'm not going to gain too much time over, my trip. I'd probably save about 5-10 minutes over, let's say, a 2-hour trip by continuously changing lanes. Whenever you start continuously changing lanes, you become erratic. It's recommending me to stay on that lane. So it is really, really strange that it's, I'm weaving between traffic, in and out of traffic. I don't like that. That's not the way it should be. Mind you, you don't have to do it. You still have to confirm that particular change. So, I don't have to do it, but eventually the car is going to do this on her own. So I'm really curious. Now we are coming up to this exit. This should be our exit. And yeah, 900 meters. So this is our exit. I'm going to be very curious how it's going to do and what it's going to do, because this is a lot tougher than some of the other ones. So let's see what happens. And once again, don't do this, but I will keep my hands within visual for you guys so you guys can see what the car itself is doing, that I'm not the one doing this. So here we go. She's going to take it. She took it. She signaled and took it. And now is she going to slow down? Wow. Okay. Slow down for this turn. This is a pretty sharp turn, so autopilot goes back to regular autopilot. I am extremely impressed. Now let's see what happens when she gets to this little point here, because there is a separation. So she's holding the lane properly, and there's a car there, so she should stop. Again, it's incredible. It really is. I am so impressed with what Tesla has done with these cars. I hope you guys like I really do hope that you guys like this video. I don't know what to say because I have not given it, a fair, crazy amount of testing, but I have a lot of faith in the autopilot itself. So the Navigate on autopilot is just kind of a great addition to this. It's something crazy. I don't know. It's to see it take that ramp without my input and just kind of get off the highway without my input is quite amazing to me. Whatever Tesla's doing they're doing it right. So I'm dying to know what's next. I honestly didn't expect it. I didn't expect this type of for it to work as well as it does. Again, my biggest beef with this, my biggest problem that I have with this has got to be the fact that it's asking me to change lanes way too many times. It's not safe, and it's not something that I think people should be doing. again, the more times you change lanes, the more times you're opening up, you're putting yourself up more at risk. Good job, buddy. So I don't know, I think it's I would rather it stay on the lane unless it's really gonna save some serious time. You know, for a 10-minute drive, if I'm gonna save 30 seconds by going around the car, I don't think it's worth it. But again, currently I don't have to acknowledge this. I don't have to confirm the lane change. But as far as I know, the future versions, it is planning on doing it so it automatically changes lanes on its own. I don't know if I'm going to be happy with that, if it's going to consistently weave in and out of traffic. This is just my opinion. You guys let me know what you think. Or do you agree with me? Should it just kind of stay in one lane? Maybe change once or twice, and only if it's really worth it. Let me know what you think. So I would love to hear what you guys have to say. Please don't be shy. Comment below. Let me know anything that goes through your mind. With all that said, as always, I truly appreciate each and every one of you guys. Your subscriptions mean a lot to me. The fact that you guys are coming back and subscribing and commenting and leaving me messages. A number of you have figured out the email address and you have been emailing me directly rather than leaving a comment. I completely appreciate it. So tell me what you guys want to see more. Tell me your opinions. And if you disagree with me, well, give the video a thumbs down and, you know, tell me why. I don't like the people who give the video a thumbs down, but they don't tell me why. I'm not perfect, but I want to learn. And I can only advance if you guys tell me what I'm doing wrong. I don't mind criticism as long as it's still respectful. Alright, with all that said, thank you very much for watching. Till next time, drive safe, stay off your phones, and look forward to the next video. Bye.